What is going on with these newer live service games? Where are they? Or should I say, what happened to them? A live service game, also known as games as a service, is a model where games are designed to be continuously updated and supported long after their initial release. Instead of a one and done experience, it's giving the company a continuous revenue source. Live service games are ways to monetize video games either after their initial sale or to support a free-to-play model. One of the first live service games that came to fruition was a game called RuneScape, and that game actually came out in 2001, which is crazy. And this game is a fantasy, massively multiplayer online role-playing game. RuneScape does not really follow a linear story. Rather, players set their own goals and objectives. Players can choose to fight NPC monsters, complete quests, or increase their experience and available skills. The game had a massively long run, compiling millions of players until the company decided to shut it down in 2018. But still, that was a good 17-year long run. Another older example that a lot of people probably know of is the game World of Warcraft. And that game came out around 2004. This game allows players to create a character avatar and explore an open world in third person or first person view, exploring the landscape, fighting various monsters, completing quests, and interacting with NPCs or other players. Two games that are very much either alive or talked about to this day. More recently, games like Call of Duty, which actually came out in the early 2000s, Fall Guys, and Fortnite, coming out in the 2010s, have pretty much taken the world by storm. Some releasing new games and big updates that people are looking forward to and spending their money on. Even though some of these games are even starting to get up there in age, which is crazy to think about. One of the first games that sparked a lot of public backlash was actually a game called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. The game is described as a genre-defying third-person action shooter where the ultimate band of misfits must do the impossible: kill the Justice League. The game seems simple enough, right? But simple is actually what killed the game. Many players who were once super excited for the game to come out then criticized the game developers for playing it too safe, saying the game just didn't make any sense. Overall, it was just lackluster, which will be a huge theme throughout these newer live service games. The developers have even come out and stated that the game had a constantly changing vision, a poor choice of genre, and a culture of rigid perfectionism, so it seems as though Rocksteady didn't even know what they want in the first place. Now, it wasn't the first bad live service game, but it was the first one that got me to start noticing a trend. More and more poorly received games were being released using this format. Here's a few live service games that didn't really perform well and they actually eventually got shut down. Foam Stars, Anthem, Marvel's Avengers, X-Defiant, and more recently, Multiverses. That last one actually got shut down on May 30th. And there was actually a lot of people who were upset about it because it actually came out fairly recently and it actually had a bit of an audience. But when I think of failed live service games, the biggest one that comes to mind is Concord. And this game is actually what made me think of this video in the first place. Concord is a failed project from Firewalk Studios, but it was really from PlayStation. Concord was a 5v5 competitive multiplayer first-person shooter. And let me tell you guys, this game came out and it was literally only available for 2 weeks before it was abruptly shut down and even removed from store shelves. I even know of some people that saw it in stores and they went to go buy it and they just wouldn't even let them buy it. So it was just kind of funny. They were just like, nah, we're done. No more selling it. And this is all because of the low player count. Now, some people actually did like this game, but many did not, and many didn't even want to buy the game to try it out. This is actually what some players had to say about the game. Character designs are some of the worst I've seen in the gaming industry. Gameplay was bland and did nothing new or anything to innovate on a genre that really needed it. It looked like other cartoony shooter games, but the biggest complaint I've seen across numerous people is the $40 price tag. And that was a major problem considering that you can get very similar games for free. To many, it felt like PlayStation wasn't just out of touch. They were being blatantly greedy and unreasonable. And that's the central question of this entire discussion. Are companies releasing live service games simply because similar titles have proven to be incredibly profitable? Take Fortnite for example. It was estimated to have generated over $6 billion in revenue in 2022 alone. That's a lot of money. So they rush out something generic, Some might even call it ugly. Slap a price tag on it, whether that's upfront or through in-game microtransactions, and then sit back expecting the money to just roll in, but for most, the reality has been quite the opposite. It's so bad that they have to either do layoffs or just shut the company down completely, which is kind of sad. Because that's pretty much what happened to Firewalk Studios, the game that made Concord. They got completely shut down. I do feel like the live service trend is starting to die out, mainly because it's just completely overdone. People are getting tired of the constant pay to play or even pay to win models baked into these games. A lot of players don't have money or simply don't want to keep spending on half-baked content. These days, many aren't even buying games at launch. Instead, they're waiting on big sales or turning to subscription services like PlayStation Plus or Game Pass, where they can play a wide range of titles for one set price per month. Gamers are done paying for mediocrity. Now, I do think the original live service giants, the ones that I feel actually did it right, will still hold their place at the top. Now, mind you, they have had years to flush the game out and perfect it, but at least they did give it time. Unlike Concord, it was out for like 2 weeks and they're just like, nah bro, like send it back. And probably just because they were getting just a bunch of like negative reviews off the gate and they just didn't want to deal with it. But the flood of copycat games, they need to just stop. Unless the studio has something truly fresh, unique, player focused, they shouldn't expect people to show up or spend a dime. In my opinion, it's too late to jump on the bandwagon. I would love to hear what you guys think about it though. Have you tried any of these recent live service games? Did you like them? Do you think companies should just stick to what they're good at? For instance, PlayStation was killing it in the narrative, story-based games. But where have those been in this recent console generation? It's really sad. It's been barely any. I feel like a lot of gaming companies have just been doing a lot of experimenting within these last few years. But yeah, definitely let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Pause for now, play forever. AK out.